Alrighty, howdy, welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
So in this lecture, we're going to be talking about two important things. One of them is a function called count, which you'll probably use a lot. And then the last one is called the group by, which is also very important. And you'll see why as we go through it. So let's go through the first function, talking about count. And that will basically tell us
how many items meet whatever conditions we ask for. And so what it will really be doing is just counting the rows in a table that meet the conditions that we have.
Exactly. Great explanation, Pete.
Yeah.
So in a previous example, we talked about films, right? So let's go here. We're looking at the SQL Pro here. And we kind of cheated. We found out, okay, you know what? I'm going to just comment this out and see. This will give me every film. Again, like this comment function, it ignores that line. So it's as if I only typed these lines. And it says, oh, we have 1,000 rows. That means we have 1,000 films, right? And then we added this condition of where rental rate equals 99 cents. We ran that, and we looked here, and it said, oh, there's 341 rows. And so we kind of cheated because SQL Pro gave us that information. 341 or 1,000, that number is not in the result set here, right? Like if you really wanted to do this in terminal or something like that, you would have to like count each individual thing or whatever. So we're kind of cheating. So instead of cheating, let's use count. So I'm going to just delete this here. Let's do this in Sublime so we get good practice. So count and group by. So let's count how many titles there are in film. So the way the count function works is you put count, open parentheses, the column name, and then close parentheses.
Yeah. And just as a note, you can really count, if you're just doing a normal count, you could count IDs, which is like the most common thing. Yeah. Because you just need to be able, you just want to count anything, any column from that, any information, piece of information from those rows. But let's run this since that's what we've been using in the past. Yeah. So, okay, perfect. Then run. Boom.
We got 1,000. So there were 1,000 rows, yeah.
Okay, but now let's add in the rental rate condition that we had before.
Where rental rate equals 0.99. Copy that. Go here.
341. Perfect.
Right? So now we did it that way.
And where this is really going to come in handy is where we want to count instances of multiple different things in one query. So like in the future, we might be wanting to say like count the number of videos that have this condition and then count the number of videos that have this condition and this third condition and compare those three numbers all in one query. And that way, and when you do that, you're not going to be able to cheat and use the SQL Pro. You're going to need to use the count function.
Okay, cool, exactly.
And yeah, so let's go into group by.
Yeah, so when we do these things without the group by function, group by clause, we're basically returning every single row. But if we want to say group it by categories and say, okay, just give me a title. Let's just give me any random title from each rental rate price, right? And then we say group by rental rate. You'll see that it doesn't give every single row. It'll just give all the different prices. So you found that, oh, we actually sell DVDs at only 3 prices. The 3 kinds of rental rates that are tied to each film is 99 cents, $2.99, and $4.99. So we're grouping it by these 3 categories.
Yeah. And let's just to go back to that previous example and combine count and group by. So let's say we want to know how many films we're renting at each of those 3 prices. So what we want to do, count title. Perfect. From film, group by the rental rate. So, boom, perfect. Boom. So, as we showed before, at 99 cents, we're renting 340 videos. That's what we see there. But at $2.99, we're renting 323 videos. And then at $4.99, we're renting 336 videos.
So pretty evenly spaced out.
Yeah. And so these are kind of like a very basic introduction to these 2 functions that you're going to be using a lot in the future.
Yeah. One quick thing before we close this lecture off is another alternative to group by, and this is the way I actually like to do it, is grouping by like the number. Yeah. So instead of saying group by rental rate, like sometimes as you start to write a lot of this code, it gets tedious to write all these things, and there's a bunch of shortcuts in SQL. And one of the shortcuts is by using a number. And so we can say group by 2, and what that means is group by the second column. So not title, but this second column. And that's basically the same thing as group by rental rate. So we'll do that here. Run that, and it's the same thing. If we grouped by 1, what do you think would happen?
It's going to be madness.
It's going to be madness. Oh, we can't group on count. All right, so let's do it by title.
Okay.
And there, you're basically grouping on every single thing, every single unique title.
The only way that this would be interesting would be if there were titles with multiple.
Yeah.
The same titles. But this shorthand will be really helpful going forward. And especially, let's say you have you're asking for 7 different pieces of information in the select clause, and you want to group by something in the 7th position, you can say group by 7, something like that.
Exactly.
All right, Brain Buster. I know this is what you've all been waiting for. Okay, our question for this Brain Buster is, which rating do we have the most films in? So what we need to do is write a query that tell us the number of films we have in each film rating. So that means if it's a G movie, PG, PG-13, NC-17, anything like that.
Yep.
And then, for any of you that are overachievers, we're going to ask you to say which rating is most prevalent in each store, and only use one query to find that out.
All right, so you have 2 questions. First question. First question is,
write a query that will tell us the number of films we have in each film rating.
Second question.
Which rating is most prevalent in each store? Use only one query. For that second one, you might want to search Stack Overflow or Google to figure out how to do that. But I will be very impressed if you figure out number 2.
All right, so yeah, give it a chance. Give it a try, the first one you should get with what we taught you so far.
Number 2 will take a little bit of extra effort.
Yep.
Good luck.
All right, take it easy.
Take it easy, Beezy.